What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp. Today we're going to be checking out the new Massdrop Vast 35-inch ultra-wide curved gaming monitor. I just posted a picture of this on Twitter the other day, and you guys blew that up in just a few hours, so if I had to guess, I'd say you're pretty interested in it. But like I said, it's brand new and it's actually made from Massdrop, so there's a lot of questions going on about it. But the best part is it's available on their website for just around $550, which is crazy for a gaming monitor with these specs. So in this review, we'll check it out, all that good stuff, and I'll tell you whether it's legit. So the Massdrop Vast 35-inch ultra-wide gaming monitor is definitely impressive on paper. It's 3440 by 1440p, 35 inches across, with a 2 millisecond gray-to-gray response time and a 100 Hz refresh rate with FreeSync built in. Still no love for G-Sync. So taking a closer look, you can see the bezels are made from this aluminum material, gives it a nice silvery shimmer to it along the sides, and I think the bezel for the most part do a good job of keeping it cut down and minimal. With the black and silver finishes, it's definitely a sleek looking monitor. And along the sides we have a strip of this brushed aluminum vinyl that kind of helps add to the aesthetic. It is just a vinyl wrap though. As far as the inputs, you have 3 HDMIs, a DisplayPort, and a headphone jack, and they also include a DisplayPort cable inside the box for you as well. So on a lot of monitors I've tried in the past, one of the biggest issues I've run into is a lack of versatility with the stand. But this one is very impressive, as you can see. You get a 20-degree tilt adjustment with an 11 centimeter range of height adjustment, but the stand can also go completely vertical for a vertical screen orientation. This is something that you do not see that common at all. So the fact that it's built in here is definitely pretty cool if you could take advantage of that. Now, since this is designed as a gaming monitor, odds are you're not going to be gaming at this orientation, but for web browsing, stuff like that, it is cool that it is built in if you are going to need it. Just a nice little bonus, I think. So not only is the stand versatile, but say you want to take it off and mount it to your wall, well, you can do that because we do have basis support on this monitor as well. So you're getting a lot of adjustment here and flexibility. I think the Vast has you covered. Then on the back right side of the monitor is the menu navigation joystick, and this reminds me a lot of the ones like on Samsung monitors that I've used. Pretty much feels exactly the same as that. That's what you're going to use to navigate everything. And their menus here are pretty extensive. You can go through, change the color temperature and stuff like that. You can enable a dual window mode, so you can have 2 different screens up on here since you do have that 35-inch ultra-wide screen. And like you've seen before, you can enable different picture modes, go in, change the hue, the contrast, saturation, all that stuff to kind of mess with your picture. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but in terms of the picture modes, I was kind of unimpressed with FPS and RTS. FPS coloring looked too flat, and RTS had an unnecessary amount of sharpening, I think. I definitely keep it on standard, then adjust from there. Just a little side note, but when you turn the little joystick on the back to the right, it enables these sort of aiming reticles for games that don't have a reticle inside, specifically for FPS games. Gives you a little edge. It's just a really solid looking monitor. You have the 1800R curvature with a 178-degree viewing angle, and there's also a 3H anti-glare surface treatment on the display, so it'll help cut down on the reflections on some harsh lighting and stuff like that. One thing I wanted to talk about was the contrast ratio. It's 2500 to 1, and with this newer VA panel on this Vast monitor, one of the things I've noticed is the pretty much non-existence of any backlight bleeding here. When the lights are off and there's nothing really on the display, it's all black, you do not have any backlight bleeding, which is a huge plus and something that a lot of other monitors suffer from. And trust me, I really put this to the test to see if I could find any sort of weak spot, but there was nothing. So again, this is a monitor targeted towards gamers, and on paper, like I said, 3440 by 1440p with a 100 Hz refresh rate, a 2 millisecond gray-to-gray response time with FreeSync built in. That right there with the added screen versatility is probably going to be enough to make people pick it up, but just the one thing I'm still bummed about is that it's only for FreeSync. I know that's one of the drawbacks here with these modern panels and stuff. Not Massdrop's fault, I just wish video would stop being so stubborn. But the native 100 Hz refresh rate is definitely going to be, I think, good enough for most people out there, because that's pretty high. And the last thing I want to mention before we wrap this all up is it comes with a 100% sRGB color rating, which means for the most part the colors here are going to be very true to life and accurate. And actually, I used my Spider 5 Elite, which is my monitor calibration tool that I used, And I found the biggest change that it made visually was just making the panel a little bit warmer looking. Out of the box, it comes with a 6500 Kelvin rating, but like I said, you can mess around with all that stuff. You can change the color temperatures in the settings. I like to keep it at around 5,000, but I mean, for the most part, the colors here were spot on. And I mentioned it all before, but the fact you get a 2 millisecond gray to gray response time with a 100 hertz refresh rate built in with FreeSync. You have, the 3440 by 1440p resolution at 35 inches. This crazy adjustable and very versatile stand is awesome. And that price point of $550 is unheard of for everything here. And the 3 monitors that I use from LG, I spent like it was $1,100 at the time. And this is pretty much the same thing, but with better specs and a better refresh rate. So an outstanding deal. But there are some cons that I wanted to mention for you guys, but they're not that big. The first one comes with the little joystick on the back. The whole menu navigation is very confusing. I actually had to write it down here because I just kept messing it all up. I talked about before how right brings up the crosshair, left is going to bring up your picture modes, down is your input selection, and then up brings up the menu. And navigating the menu is what gets confusing because you have to use left and right. That's going to control you moving up and down in the menus, but then to get into a sub menu, you have to press up. And then if you press anything else, it'll just kick you out of the menu. So that's definitely a bit confusing. It took me a while to kind of get used to that. Second was when I was actually using the joystick, I noticed at the bottom of the panel got a little bit warm. Not a big con, like I said, but I mean, just a little noteworthy, a little bit warm to the touch here. And the third thing, again, depending on when you're watching this, is if you want to get this now, it ships in January, I believe, which is going to be a bummer if you're really psyched about this and you want to pick it up. Few months left, but I mean, I'm really impressed with Massdrop and what they've done here with this gaming monitor. For $550, it is an outstanding deal, and I definitely recommend it. I've been loving it so far, and I've had 0 issues. If you want to check it out, I will put the link to the drop in the description down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm randomfrankp. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.